The project originated from me reading this article. It was a April Fool's joke that had been written in the papers in '85, which claimed that oil had been found in 𝘋𝘢𝘵𝘢 𝘃𝑔𝘪𝑜𝘪𝑚. Kind of inspired me to imagine a scenario. What if all the pictures we see of those caverns in Jurong were actually of a reality in which there was oil in Jurong? What then would we have wanted to preserve? What would be the important thing that we would try to find in the stratas of Jurong? This project came out of the conversations I had with the curator, 𝘋𝘢𝘵𝘢 𝘝𝑪. So he lives in Jurong, and we had many conversations about the history and also finding out from the public what exactly mattered to them out of all this. What were their understanding of Jurong? We had 8 students involved working over half a year on this project. Some of the students also worked on the 3D modelling of the objects that you see.
For me, what is special about this project is it is like a Jurong photo album, but it is represented as a tunnel in this 3D space, like from the past to the present, and that's how you see how it was like from the start to the end.
We did a lot of objects, we made a lot of objects. It's mainly just from our research about Jurong. Because Jurong used to be like a swamp, so there were like a lot of water activities. We also have kayak, boat. I also modelled like train tracks that were like the abandoned train tracks in Jurong that you can find.
My students came up with the questions, trying to think of the things that they could ask that were also quite open-ended for the public to answer.
We did a questionnaire survey, and then we had an online consultation with the residents of Jurong, and we basically collect the data and then put them into our project.
I heard about different places that I didn't know existed in Jurong. Some of the answers were super specific, like one specific orange tabby cat. Some of the responses mentioned monkeys, monitor lizards, being things that they keep seeing around. So, even things like what colours that people associate with it, which is quite, what kind of sound do they remember from it?
And then I'll put everything together. I'll set up the scene, like the lighting and the dust particles, to make it look slightly more realistic.
The different lights kind of give different emotions and give you a different feel of what Jurong was at that time, and it gave you that kind of vibe.
So as opposed to other usual outreach programs, Art in the Commons, Data Visualizing Jurong with 𝘋𝘢𝘵𝘢 Singapore support is about co-creating with the community about the local area in which they live that blends the arts and the sciences. So it's very much tied to the community, the residents of the area, and this important aspect of co-creating it with the artists. Science Centre has always been an integral part of Jurong. I think I remember as a child going there with my school trip. So I think when everyone thinks of Jurong, one of the few things I think about is the Science Centre. So we're very pleased that the Science Centre is part of this very important program as well.
Well, Science Centre is in Jurong, right? So how can you do a project without Science Centre? It will be something that I hope can also go down to history, because you're recording, visualizing the history of how Jurong is transforming. Well, this exhibition has got this key word which I thought is very powerful, that is visualization. And visualization is very part of arts expression. And science nowadays, with big data coming in, you need to be able to make sense of the big data. And to make sense of the big data is to visualize it. And that's where this cross-boundary of arts and science, combining the whole ethos of we must be able to visualize what that big picture is where science and arts really interface. So again, I want to applaud whoever who came up with this idea as something very good.